How's it going, everybody? I am the Uncanny Omar, and I could not do this alone today. This is my buddy, Super Saiyan 4, Rob 64. How are you, man?
Man, it is very bittersweet to be here.
It's yeah, not the most joyous of occasions to be reunited to do a show, but it's been a while since you've been on Near Me Condition to do a show just with me. We used to do video game hauls and talk about manga, and I you were the first person to message me, and then I started seeing all kinds of people message me about the passing of Akira Toriyama.
At the
And
tender age of 68. 68. That's
yeah,
not
and
old at all.
he passed away March 1st, but they just released a statement today. Because I mean, that's usually what they do, right? Like when Miura passed away, it was a while before they released a statement. This is unbelievable, man. Like, he had such an impact on our lives. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like to from the days of Dragon Warrior, before we even knew who Akira Toriyama was in the United States, to the Dragon Warrior cartoon, and then Dragon Ball, and forget about it. I mean, I jogged to the opening of both of the seasons, man. It's crazy. Like
every time I get on a plane, I listen to the themes from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z of everyone turning Super Saiyan, because that music is just embedded in my head every time. And when we talk about impact, I mean, for the longest time, it says SS4 Rob 64. SS4 Rob was my moniker for like everything. It still is.
Mine was Super Saiyan. Mine was SS. What was it? SS Trunks 78?
Yes,
that was my AOL account in 1996, 97, 98. Yeah. This one hurts, man. And I'm raising a glass.
Yeah, let's do this first. Toast to Akira Toriyama for influencing generations of people, generation of manga, generations of anime, generations of culture, and then actual people themselves.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
People thinking they can overcome adversity. People thinking they can combine and unite and become better than what they were. Like, that's all Akira Toriyama. Like, that's what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Chrono Trigger and Sandman and all these things meant to me. So, cheers. Rest in peace,
you, man. Rest in peace to a legend, dude. I named my dog Chrono after Chrono Trigger. I love that game so much.
Yes, you did.
And the character designs were just so amazing. He was so amazing. Yeah.
Make it full screen so that people can see.
Well, it's all blurred out, Rob, because your camera sucks.
No, my camera is so good. It knows that there's people here. Hold on. Let's do this. No,
you got a bootleg copy of the Akira Toriyama's.
That's what it is.
Trigger. That's how you wish to honor the man.
I pay respect to Akira Toriyama with this bootleg copy of Chrono Trigger. No, as a video gamer, even this is the thing. Hold on, it's story time. I'm in college. I'm a young guy in college, and I come across, and I'm trying to get into anime. I'm learning about anime. And I come across these pictures of this guy who has black hair, and then he has yellow hair, and there's like multiples of them, and they're like doing this together. I'm like, what is this? And I figured out this is Dragon Ball, and the style of art is amazing. I actually thought everyone was the same character. I didn't realize there's Vegeta, Goku, because when they turn Super Saiyan, like you could say that they're very similar. I didn't know. Again, I was a little kid. This is back in like 96 or something. This is a long time ago, before the internet was a thing. I could just find these pictures on these like FTP sites. Look that up, what that is. I found like 6 pictures. I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's amazing, and I want to like learn more about it. Mm-hmm. So I found some people, and you were one of these people. Found some people who knew what it was. I had some bootleg Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Best way to watch it with those awful subtitles that were nowhere near close to
awful subtitles that were kind of close, like the Killing Pill. Like, what is this? Like awful subtitles, but I could figure out what the story was. Like, okay, wait a minute, is this guy's Goku, and this guy he's fighting this guy named Vegeta, but they figure out that they're friends.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's so we have a lot of people in the chat right now. So give me a second.
They don't know.
Yeah, so some people didn't know, so they just found out because of the title of the live stream.
Man.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
passed away March 1st.
March
And
1st, and
he
yeah,
just
we're just
let a
learning about this
statement out.
today.
I'm
And
just
it's
gonna
like
quick
it's a
do
very
some
it's very
comments here while
Japanese.
you tell your story. So you
Yeah,
keep going.
it's a very Japanese thing to like let the thing happen, and
Family.
then yeah,
Mhm.
family, and then like let the public know. So anyway, so I figured out who these characters were, and I started watching these bootleg VHS tapes, and I got completely addicted. I absolutely love the art style, and more importantly, I love the characters. And this is one of the first cartoons that I watched where like people changed. Like typically before that, like American in the 80s and stuff, American cartoons, the characters were pretty flat. Like Skeletor was always going to be bad, He-Man was always going to be good, whatever. Dragon Ball was the first thing where like the bad guys would change. Vegeta would change who he was and be a good person. And then like it's like okay, characters in stories in cartoons can be more advanced than what I actually knew. And also like Goku powering up and turning Super Saiyan, like that's him going, okay, I can do this and have confidence, and you should never give up, never surrender, look like be strong, find others in strength. Like all these things are something that I took home and made really personal. And then I figured out that this is the same guy who did the art for Dragon Warrior, like
Dragon
you were
Warrior.
talking about
That's
a
right.
minute
We
ago.
called it Dragon Warrior back
Yeah,
then. If you
yeah, like, is this
people
the
didn't
same
know.
guy? And the art style's like, oh, I get it. It's the same person. And as I got into like, more Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I was seeing more of his art style and things like that, then this thing comes around. As I talked about Chrono Trigger before. This of every JRPG that ever been released in like the past 20 some years, like this is one of my favorite games ever. Sea of Stars, which is a newer release that came out. The
So
Team
yeah,
Sabotage Studios, great folks, great guys that run this. Chrono Trigger was their inspiration for the game, right? And because Chrono Trigger hit us because of Akira Toriyama's art, Sakaguchi's like story bending, like it's
Yatsumaro's music, the
yes,
score in
yes,
Chrono Trigger
yeah,
is
like it
phenomenal.
was the perfect combination of like Final Fantasy and Dragon Ball and Akira Toriyama and the music, perfect thing, perfect storm of perfection. And to put a pin on this, because I want you to talk too. My kid not like literally like a month ago was like, "Hey, you keep talking about Goku and all this. What is this?" I was like, "Well, child, if you go into my library, you will find this Dragon Ball #1. I want you to start reading this and tell me what you think." And she's like, okay, I'll give it a shot. She blew through all these, and
Whoa.
then like in a couple of weeks, she was just like, "Daddy, let me tell you, there's Vegeta and Goku and Krillin." Like she absolutely was hooked because that's what Dragon Ball, that's what Akira Toriyama did with his stories and his art style and his characters and his world. He brought us in and he changed us. He changed who we are. I'm not going to lie. It's not an understatement. I'm getting all teared up. Who I am today is because of Goku and Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball and the things that he wrote. Look at this big old statue.
I'm still delusional as fuck that I still see myself as future Trunks with my goofy haircut sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that's how much of an inspiration that character and that manga and then the anime was to me. I love it. It was amazing all the way, from the early years and before we even knew who Akira Toriyama was here in the States. And I watched Dragon Ball when I was 5 in Peru. Dude, yo soy peruano también, hermano. And I'm 31 now. Chrono Trigger is still one of my favorite games, and Dragon Quest is one of my favorite franchises. His work has been a huge part of my life. I mean, let's just go on and say it. Without Akira Toriyama, there would be no One Piece, no Oda.
No.
Oda, I'm sure, is completely heartbroken at this news and drew a lot of inspiration from Dragon. And it's not Oda. It's so many people, American, like, Western writers.
Bleach.
Like, oh my god, yeah. This isn't even my final form. How many times do you even see that, like, in every, not just manga and anime and video games, but also like Western comics? It's
the concept of transforming to a stronger version of yourself has been in countless things. Absolutely. And that is all because of the first time we saw this was Akira Toriyama. Also, the fusion capability, 2 things or 3 things turning into one thing, that's Akira Toriyama. That's all.
That was all done, but that was the guy that did Video Girl Eye. That was his idea. They were joking. They were sitting around joking about, okay, who's more powerful than Goku and Vegeta? And the guy goes, what about Vegeta and Goku together? Akira Toriyama goes, oh, yes.
I've heard this. Yes, I know this story.
It sucks, man. Like, because when somebody of this magnitude passes away, you know, it takes something from you because there will never be another Dragon Ball. Yes, there's going to be a continuation of Dragon Ball Super. They're going to relaunch it. There's going to be video games with, you know, there are people that are drawing Dragon Ball Super right now that can mimic that style.
Yeah, and there's
But
the
that's
upcoming
soul,
Dragon Ball series. The
but
upcoming
the
Dragon Ball
soul
series.
is gone,
Yeah,
right? It's not.
right.
The story might end up where Akira Toriyama wanted it to go, just like Berserk, right? Where Miura wanted to go, but it's almost, and it's, I don't want to say an empty husk, but it will feel different. It's like when a musician passes away and the band carries on and they get a new lead singer, right? It's just a different take. You may like it and you may enjoy the hell out of it, but it's just going to be different.
Yeah, I wonder about the Dragon Ball new series that was coming out. Like how much, because Akira Toriyama
Well,
was
and
supposed to be directly involved in this.
he was working on Sandland. Yeah. Sandland game about to come out.
Yep.
Gonna hit different now.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Based on one Tonkabon. Chrono Trigger is
Yeah.
my favorite game of all time, and Dragon Ball Z is my childhood. Yeah, a lot of people are seeing that. Thank you, Akira Toriyama. You had such an immeasurable joy and love for who we really are. Kids acting like grown-ups. Don't take it. And he had such a
Dude, that's so true.
style. You remember when Tobal #1 came out? You were
Yes.
like, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. Yep.
What's he doing now? This is why we got Dragon Ball GT, because he's working on Tobal.
I bought Tobal #1. No one's a terrible game
Oh, it's
because of Akira Toriyama. It's right over there.
I bought
And
Tobal
the Saturn
which is
game too.
harder
I have
to
the Saturn
find.
game too. But like, hold on, that previous comment is so true. So it's absolutely true that we have adults. Goku very much was a kid, right? But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like that childlike joy. That's the thing. We can be adults. Like, you know, we're in near mint condition our age, but we can have childlike joy in some of the things that we consume and read and watch and play and listen to. And a lot of that is attributed to us reading Dragon Ball when we were kids. Like, it's okay for Goku to be silly and frustrated, but also strong and powerful and lead well. Like that's when you consume these things as a kid, they stick. They don't disappear. They help you as you grow. And the other thing that you said, I really want to make sure that it said is Dragon Ball influenced many of the anime and manga authors today. Some of the things that we see are because of what these guys saw in Dragon Ball and back in the 80s. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's boy, that meme of I think it's a Shonen Jump meme of like a grown-up Goku like watching the youngins take over, like, you know, like Luffy, even though Luffy's been around for such a long time now, or like Naruto, and just watching from afar, that's gonna hit so different now. With
Naruto, yep, that's definitely. I had a Naruto shirt on earlier, and then I also hold on, I got this shirt on too.
You pulled them all out, huh? The Dragon Ball.
Pulled them all. Look at this. Look at this. That's just
great. Toriyama. Yeah. Unfortunately, he passed away on March 1st, and they just let out a big. It was on. When you mentioned that, I was like, oh no, what? Because first of all, it's disbelief, right? Like, no way, it's a hoax.
He's too young. 68.
68 is way too
working
young.
on stuff, right? Working on
and
content.
Working. And honestly, I just saw J.M. DeMatteis. He gave a big tribute to Will Eisner, who would have turned 100 years old this year, and talked about how much of an inspiration he was. And one of the biggest things that he inspired J.M. DeMatteis to this day, who's a comic book writer, by the way, in case you don't know, is that Will Eisner worked until the day he died because he loved doing what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And Toriyama was very much the same way. He loved doing this. He may not have been wanting to be involved anymore in Dragon Ball. People just kept asking him back. He's like, I'm done with that story.
There's definitely that.
But
But
hard time believing we'd have Invincible in the way we do without Dragon Ball. Absolutely, Adam. Thank you. Western comics were heavily influenced. A lot of us that grew up with that, you know, I mean, if you look at just all the different artists, even like some of your favorite artists right now, like Daniel Warren Johnson, all these people that got inspired by manga, or maybe they're drawing with Dragon Ball Z in the background. They're working out to the music, the soundtrack. It's crazy how much of an influence he's had in our lives.
Yeah, like I said, you listen to his music to work out to. Every time I get on a plane and listen to his music, like I have figures around here. I have another figure over here. I have all kinds of toys, art.
Yeah.
Like, and we're going to be going to Japan, you and I too. Like, I plan on picking up Dragon Ball Z stuff because Akira Toriyama is such a big influence, and it really made my heart smile when my kid was like, "Okay, yeah, this is really cool," and my other two kids are going to do the same thing. It's great. It's great. And there's an article. You should Google this. There's an article of why persons of color love Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, I remember you sharing that with me because there's a lot of truth behind that. I love it, man.
The short version of why persons of color love
that it's
Dragon Ball. You like that? Why black people? It's not just black people, brown people. Like, you know, why?
Yo. As the representative of the Latino community, nosotros.
We love Dragon Ball. It's
but you said it earlier. It brings everybody together.
It brings people together. There's the underdog that finds that inner power to overcome the thing that's unovercomable. There's my word of the day.
I think this was already in the works. The Dragon Ball Daima. That's what he was.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So Toriyama specifically said that he's involved in Daima, but I don't know how much he got done. I don't know, like being a video game person, I understand that like a lot of the story stuff is written way early, so maybe he got done with everything he was going to get done with before this move forward. I don't know, but like Daima's going to hit very differently.
Toriyama made philosophy digestible for global audience. It paced the way for the Matrix films. Very true. He was like Japan's Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
I mean, he produced a lot. I'm trying to think, like, if he was Jack Kirby, then Osamu Tezuka would be like the Will Eisner, somebody up on that Mount Rushmore of creators for sure. You know, and it's weird because we just lost. Well, it feels like we just lost, but we did lose Miura, and then we did lost Takahashi earlier with the Yu-Gi-Oh mangaka.
Yes,
it's crazy. Dragon Ball Z will forever be a part of my life. Teen years to early 20s, it was instrumental for my love of that style of manga fiction. DBZ was special. That is still my favorite anime and manga. Oh, it's so Dr. Slump, like
Dr. Slump,
Koa and Sandland, which was just been re-released. Thank God, because it's been out of print for so long, and Viz still held on to the license, and they finally re-released it. I think last year. So
yes, last year to coincide with the game that came out last year as well. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is art from Dragon Quest
Warrior 4. Quest 3. That's the hero, right?
Yeah, and this is Akira Toriyama, and this is within arm reach. So when I say that this man influenced like my life, like there's a slime there, there's figures there. This is a real thing. Behind me, I know there's Dragon Ball stuff behind me, right? It hurts. It makes me sad because that brilliance, that genius, that arc of storytelling, who's going to replace that? So like, okay, manga and anime creators and Western artists and comic book makers, y'all need to step up. We lost a lot. We lost a legend. How are you going to influence this next generation of young people? What are you going to do?
I mean, I think there will always be somebody to carry the torch, but it will be just different, right? It was like, this is a big loss. This is somebody that influenced so many people, and I think a lot of people are going to be hurting, not just fans, but also like mangaka. Like Oda was a big fan of Toriyama.
Oh yeah.
The letter from his estate did say he was working on multiple projects. Sad for the world, my biggest inspiration and the whole reason I became an artist was because of Akira Toriyama.
See?
On the bright side, we can say that we were all alive at the same time as Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
What point?
Oh yeah. And he changed. He literally changed how we perceive and engage in the world. At least for me, he literally changed who I am. Absolutely. And
my daughter and I.
So yesterday, just to show the influence of like Akira Toriyama, obviously I'm a big fan. Literally yesterday, I was talking smack to my 3 children in the car, and the 3 of them were like, "Hey guys, let's do this." This is what they said. They said, "Hey, let's do this to Daddy." All 3 of them, Meha, and they blasted me, and I'm like, I'm driving. I'm like, I'm scared.
We used to do that like when Lydia was born, so she's now 14. But I remember that's the way I would crack her up. I would do the Kamehameha, and I would destroy my wife pretty much, and Melanie would just act like she's blowing up, and Lydia thought that was the most funniest thing ever. So then we started watching Dragon Ball Z
2 days
with her
ago,
younger sister.
unprompted. 2 days ago, this happened. So the influence trickles down. It trickles down. And the fact that it still sticks with them, because again, like you have to think about the stuff that's on TV and tablets and Netflix or whatever. There's all kinds of things that they can be focused on. The fact that they're like, you know what? We should Kamehameha my dad. That shows you like the permanence and the influence of Akira Toriyama.
Hey, Ethan, Akira Toriyama is an equal to Jack Kirby on that level.
Mm.
Joe Mad took over X-Men with full anime style. Absolutely. He was inspired by a lot of Arthur Adams. And oh my gosh, that anime flair that just blew up. I'm glad he gave us Super before he left. The perfect mix of Dragon Ball and comedy and Z action.
Mm-hmm.
This is heartbreaking. We have lost so many creators in the past 3 or 4 years. That's the thing about getting older, right? It's like you watch your childhood leave.
Yeah.
Like a part of your childhood will constantly keep leaving, and that's unfortunately a part of life that you can't escape, right? Like we just keep losing things, and it sucks, Kenny, that we lost somebody of this magnitude. There's countless of hip hop bars that reference. Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Goku is in like half of every rap song, which again is talks about how his influence in the person of color, African American community. You like that? I'm so PC. All the Spirit Bomb brought communities together. Every child in the world had their hands up. Dude, do you remember when what was it? Was it Mega 64? Mega 64 had all these famous people do the Spirit Bomb.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we got like Hideo Kojima and like all these famous people to do this. Gabe from Valve came in and threw a Spirit Bomb. Come on, man.
Dragon Ball books are about to sell like crazy. Unfortunately,
I need to go buy some Sandland.
There is a sad side when things like this happen, that people take advantage of this, and it pisses me off to no end, where people start flipping things from people that died. And I've seen a lot of good communities come out there and say, no selling Akira Toriyama stuff for the next like 2 weeks, right? But I mean, flippers are always going to find a way. They'll go to eBay or whatever. The same thing happened when Miura died. People were trying to flip those deluxe editions because you couldn't find certain volumes, even though they're evergreen, meaning they come back to print. But yeah, that's the bad side when something like this happens too, right? As a fan, it's like, oh, you want to go and buy something. Oh gosh, it just went out of print. Let me look on eBay. Oh my gosh, they're charging an arm and a leg. Just saw the news on Reddit. This is so sad. He was only 68. That makes me really.
That's actually the hardest thing for me. The hardest.
So
thing
young.
For me, 68.
He was very excited about Daima. He was more involved in the project than any other DB animated project before.
Yes.
I saw the trailer when I was at New York Comic Con last year, and when I saw his name, I got so excited. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Akira Toriyama coming back and doing Dragon Ball!"
Yes.
And it was like, yes, it looks like GT and those 5 or 6 pictures that he drew for GT.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't care.
Exactly. This is the first time we're going to actually see, like, like since Super, like him really involved. I'm still going to consume it. I'm still going to check out Daima. I am, but
I love Akira Toriyama. I mean, a big part of the reason I'm on my channel is because of him.
Oh yeah,
creators like him and Miura.
Absolutely influenced.
Oh yeah,
as am I by who we are. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, I think
of course, Oda
Kishimoto released statements.
Absolutely.
We're all hurting, and that's why I want to kind of gather us together, because I didn't do it for Miura, because I'll be honest, with Miura, it broke me. Like, I couldn't function. It was like losing a family member, which sucks. Thank you so much for the super chat, Silhouette Animator. DBC was my gateway to anime. Rest in peace to a true legend. DBC was a big gateway to a lot of people, for anime. Absolutely. And long before there was the Funimation stuff, Pioneer, there was the Ocean dub that we tried to get here. Unfortunately, that didn't take off. But luckily, what happened, we were, a lot of people, that next generation after us was blessed with Toonami. And because of the popularity of Toonami, they started picking up more episodes. Our generation had to rely on bad VHS tapes, generation bootleg tapes of these videos that were from overseas, and not the entire saga either. Man, seeing Rob, This Upset Hurts, man, Dragon Ball inspired almost all of my anime art, all my favorite artists. Much love back to you, my brother. Although
Oh yeah.
I've never really watched Dragon Ball Z, but so much respect for what it meant and did for so many people. My kids are going through Dragon Ball Z with me right now. We're in these cell games, and
Oh
I
yeah.
don't do this Dragon Ball Z Kai because I'm 45 years old, almost 46. And my friends are like, dude, why don't you just watch DBZ Kai? You can skip all the fillers. And I'm like, because my kids have to go through it to learn to
Yes,
appreciate the
they have to
good.
learn and go through the thing.
They gotta,
Absolutely.
they gotta go through
Absolutely.
the 9 episodes of Frieza blowing up the planet.
5 minutes. 5
Did
minutes
you
for
know in Spain
16
12 years
episodes.
ago, a rap singer called Porta made a rap music about Dragon Ball, super iconic Dragon Ball rap. Search it. His name is Porta. We have way too many legendary comic book creators we've lost. It's cruddy because I was a kid and read the shit out of it. Here in Latin America, we were introduced to anime with Dragon Ball. I think a lot of Latin Americans,
Yeah.
un montón de Latinos, los encanta Dragon Ball. Oh my gosh, Dragon Ball Z. I remember my brother and I could not find the Garlic Jr. saga in English, so we got bootleg copies of the Garlic Jr. saga. Not even the best saga, right? Like far from the best saga in Spanish. Best thing you can do is just buy digital if you can't get them. That's a good point. I got into Dragon Ball back in 95. Yes, that Ocean dub,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, right here. Me too.
It's
95,
one of the only
96.
franchises that stuck with me through the decade. That's the Rock the Dragon song.
Dragon, Rock
That
the
one.
Dragon Ball Z.
Might be finally time to get
I
that
have-
DB tattoo I've always wanted.
There you go. I have sung Chala, Head Chala in Japan with the creator of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I've sung that. That's how
I'm sure you
influential.
butchered it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you butchered it. Dragon Ball was the reason why I started karate. Thank you, Akira. You've inspired us around the world. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how not only did it inspire what we read, what what we played, what we watched, but also our lifestyle too. A lot of it, like a lot of the dudes I've worked out with, like they were like, "What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "Dragon Ball Z." And then only like a handful were like, "Yo, you listen to Dragon Ball Z too? Which opening?" And I was like the second.
The only one that counts.
I like them all. Man, I even like GT, my brother.
My brother, he's not little. He's only a couple years younger than me. But he has talked about how he helps other folks and hangs out with other folks that are in like a little bit more hood areas than we are. And some of these guys that he talks to, like they're kind of thug. But the second he mentions Dragon Ball to these guys, they're like, "Oh man, this foul language, like Goku is the language because they everyone can empathize and relate to Goku, starting from the bottom, and now he's here. Like everyone, doesn't matter where you're from, where you live, how you grew up. We all love Dragon Ball.
Yeah, man. Like you said, dude, it really brought people together, no matter what. It's that thing, right? Like you have nothing else in common. You come from different parts of life, and the minute you start quoting a Dragon Ball Z line, whether it's in English or in Japanese, you click with people, and I love that about this. Rest in peace, great master, and thank you for all creating this masterpiece and making the childhood of many people from all over the world. You from the other side, rest easy. Thank you for influencing my childhood and imagination with your characters and stories. Long live Dragon Ball. So here's a question. This is a really good question. And everybody in the chat can answer, please. What's everybody's favorite Dragon Ball character? Maxwell's his future Trunks, and I agree. Dude, Rob knows. Like, I had an obsession with it.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't a healthy obsession.
I was gonna say, do you have the pictures of you as dressed as future Trunks?
Oh my god, when I made my hair blonde.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Like, and you know how hard it is to have people like us with our pigmentation turn our hair blonde.
Yeah, this hair don't go blonde naturally, baby. I had to dye it, man. I fucking love future Trunks, dude. The minute he so this is how hard up we were before the internet, right? We would import.
I'm trying to find something.
Yeah. Go ahead. Illegal VHS copies, right? And for me, I knew Trunks was coming because of a magazine that I used to get from Japan. And I'm like, I gotta find those episodes. I was so hard up for stuff that I I got like it was like a 10th generation bootleg tape with no English subtitles, but you didn't have to really read it, right? Because Trunks just shows up. And this is like because the magazines were also in Japanese and I couldn't read Japanese. I didn't know he was like Vegeta's son, right? I just thought, oh, this dude just showed up
right? Yeah.
And then he cuts Frieza in half. Frieza, who just like destroyed everybody in the previous. Yeah, I'm gonna highlight everybody who's
stuck ingrained in my head where Trunks shows up, bing, chop, 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 Frieza, and then the blast.
Oh, dude, when he blasts him, how badass! Like, does it get any more badass as like an entrance for a character than that?
Yeah, and Vegeta's like, I could be strong.
Vegeta wearing his pink Batman shirt, dude. Oh,
so what I was trying to find is I don't see it. I thought it was over there, but it's not. I have a pillow. Maybe I'm talking too much. Maybe I'm sharing too much. I have a pillow where one side is just regular Trunks, and you flip it over, and the other side is future Super Saiyan Trunks.
Oh, I like this side of you there, Rob.
If I can find this pillow, I'll go get it. I thought it was over there, but I don't see it. But I did grab this. Look, again, this is one of these beautiful statues.
Android 18. That's a good one.
Focus.
Dude, your camera sucks. Just there.
No, there we go.
My Figuarts obsession comes from Dragon Ball Z. Like now I'm like, oh, maybe I should expand that to Kenshin and Naruto and Bleach. And it all started from like hundreds of Figuarts. And before that, it was the Bandai toys. Dan, I wish I could get Dan on here, but I know he's asleep. Dan was the first person that ran DragonBallToys.com.
Yes, Can you talk a little bit more about Dragon Ball Toys?
About that. If not for Dragon Ball, I would not have written articles for magazines. I forgot about that. Dragon Ball was the reason why, and I wish Dan was here so he could tell the whole story, why I ended up writing review articles for toys for magazines that later became manga reviews for magazines that led me to do a podcast and that led me here. So, I mean, I didn't even think about that. Like, Dragon Ball had a huge impact on me. And I'm glad so many people are sharing memories because that is part of life, right? Like, it's a celebration too. It sucks that he's gone, but there's so many good memories to share. Punched off by Nappa, future Trunks. Yes, sir. Josh, what's up, buddy? I saw your message pop up and I haven't gotten a chance to get back to you. This one hurts, man. Android 18, Gogeta versus Broly theme, chanting and
Broly. Oh my god,
finale of Mexico.
So let's talk a little bit more about how Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball.
Let me see what everybody.
Go ahead.
Goku and Gohan for days. Future Trunks, yes sir. Broly from Z and Super are my favorite characters. What the F? I just got my volume 1 of Dragon Ball. Oh man, go and read it. It'll mean so much more to you now.
Oh yeah.
Majin Vegeta, when he knows
such a dick.
And he knows when he's about to die that he's gonna go to hell because of all the things that he did. How powerful was that? And the one thing he wanted to do was hug his son and then knock his ass out so nobody could stop him.
Yep.
One of the best moments. I don't give a crap, not just in anime or manga, but in this whole damn medium.
Yeah. In industry, in content creation, absolutely.
And people that haven't watched, people that don't know would not understand. Yeah. They're like, why are you tripping, man? Why are you tearing up about that dude dying? Because you didn't go through it, man. You didn't go through all the pain and then go see the redemption arc. Vegeta, Gotenks, and Beerus. Yeah, Beerus is great. Dragon Ball, Piccolo. That's my brother.
Piccolo, that's a very good call.
Future Trunks with all dude. Rodimus knows what's up. Future Trunks with the long, sexy hair. I had a sexy in there. I don't care. Gohan, great Saiyamon. I'm writing my blog about Toriyama.
Yep.
I mean, Bang would not exist without Toriyama. Yeah, Josh is a comic creator who does this amazing comic book called Bang Ballad of the Tiger. So go and give him some love because you have artists like him, and he's also a writer that are inspired by Dragon Ball. Piccolo's entire arc from villain to hero is great. Vegeta never really got his moment though.
Yeah.
I thought that was a beautiful moment between father and son in the Buu arc. Yeah. Even though he veered away from it, Gohan was intended. Yes, Gohan was intended to take. Yeah, but you got them editors and you got them publishers that are like, hey. You can't go around. You can't go around replacing the hero. Piccolo was always my dude. Dragon Ball is incredible. There are many lessons you can learn from a great story. Gohan, the strongest Dragon Ball character, without going Super Saiyan, brother.
Gohan's the GOAT. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Steven. Much love to you, man. I know how much it means to you too. Dude, I remember downloading images online. GT was gonna be the best.
That was me.
We were all. I was like,
that was me. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm downloading it.
Piccolo all day. Future Trunks movie is one of the Future Trunks movie with the androids is one of the best. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Like Gohan, I love Great Sai. Oh, the Great Saiyaman arc was
Great Saiyaman, yeah.
Absolutely. I got the Cantonese bootlegs back in '96. The Kamehameha was translated to Great White Ball of Destruction.
I mean, that's fair, right?
Well, see, when you all say Spirit Bomb, that's not the way that I always heard Genki Dama because I only watched it in Japanese. And I know Rob makes fun of me for watching it in Japanese, but that was the way I grew up watching it, though. Team 4-Star will probably be all over this.
I'm very much a dub kind of guy, but of all the things to watch in English, Dragon Ball is probably one.
Yeah, you're like, why you watch Dragon Ball? They all sound like women. And I'm like, because it's their innocence, Rob. We can discuss that another
day. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, dude, Attention Hod, man. That was my dude, too. Poor Yamcha. Is anybody going to pick Yamcha?
Yeah, Yamcha. Wait, what?
I had that pillow, but one side was Super Saiyan Goku and the other was Krillin.
What I did not have that pillow.
Body pillow?
Trunks and Super Trunks. Yeah.
I love the Android 18. The big green dubs are amazing. Dragon Ball influenced us one way or another.
One way or another.
Got me in the anime. Was the foundation for NMC. Absolutely. He's definitely one of the guys that got, my love of this
NMC loves Dragon Ball.
My love of this medium comes from people like Akira Toriyama. Why I'm so passionate talking about these stories and sharing wonderful stories with people is because of Toriyama. Now, of course, he was inspired too, right? Because it's always the case of art inspiring art. And I love that because he never hid away from it. I mean, for God's sakes, the name Dragon Ball Goku, all that stuff came from actual tales, right? Bardock, Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Bardock, that's a deep cut right there.
The Cooler's a deeper cut, though. Everybody knows Frieza.
Golden
Cooler only showed up in 2 movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, Bulma was the first strong female archetype I remember seeing as a kid.
You didn't click on Hercule, Mr. Satan. You should have clicked on that.
Wait, was there one?
Someone totally said Hercule, Mr. Satan. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just trying to get through the whole chat. Rob hasn't Vegeta always been a dick.
I mean,
yes, but he's just a lovable dick. I also remember having the bootleg VHS of the Boo Saga before they ever came out over here officially, showing my age. Oh, we all did, brother.
Yeah.
There he is, Hercule.
I bet I still have those tapes.
It was Mr. Satan to us. I think they translated it to Hercule.
Hercule, right? Satan. Yeah, that's what it was. I don't think that's much better.
My kids can't stand him. They're like, when is this guy gonna go away? And I'm like, boy, do I have some bad news for you all. Goku's transformation when Frieza picks up Krillin and blows him up. How iconic was that?
I told you. So every time I get on a plane, there's certain things that play in my head. And one of those is right when that happens. And the first time Goku's traumatized by his best friend being blown to bits. And he
yells, Goku! Oh, it blows up.
Dude, it's still, this happened 20 some years ago. I've seen it hundreds of times. It still bothers me to this day. Like, I can't think about it too much. It bothers me. My kid comes in like, Daddy, I was really upset with Krillin. I was like, stop talking, child. I know. Now,
that was the problem with the Ocean dub. And if you watch the Ocean dub first, because I remember my brother and I just joking on it, because in the Ocean dub, nobody got killed. My favorite one was, instead of dying, they would go to another dimension. But my favorite one was
not hell, but like H311. Yeah.
There was a freeze frame of Tenshin Han's back after Nappa blew up all the airplanes. And the freeze frame, and then the dub that's like, it's okay. I can see their parachutes.
Yes, that's totally G.I. Joe. Yeah.
And they totally filled it. HFIL.
They filled in holes. Yes, that's what it was. Instead of hell, it was FEL. And then they filled in holes. Yeah. We got to protect the kids, I guess.
Dude, they cut away when kids were getting smacked. Rest in peace, Mr. Toriyama. Thank you for inspiring hundreds of thousands of young men from your creations. May your journey on Snake Way. Oh, beautifully put. Be a great adventure. Love the shirt, Omar. Haven't seen a lot of Dragon Ball, but I like Beerus and Bardock.
Bardock, okay.
1,000%. Besides Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, such a great story. working out to Dragon Ball Z. We all did it, man. We were like, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
get jacked up, just like Super Saiyan Trunks. But remember Super Saiyan Trunks during the Cell Saga when he got too big? So when you're working out, you're like, I don't want to get that big because I want to be able to move. I'm glad I did this because as soon as I called you, I'm like, if you can't do it, I can't. I can't go on. Because if I was on by myself, it would be nothing.
This is what was happening. I was driving, so like you know, I was doing church stuff. I was driving home. I was feeling good, and this thing popped up on my phone. I was like, and I stopped. I literally pulled over and stopped the car. I was like, what is happening? Is this real? This can't be real. And then you called me shortly thereafter. I was like, like this is one of your, and like they always say never meet your heroes. Every story I've ever heard of people interacting with Akira Toriyama, like he's always been like humble and shy but gracious. Like okay, and like if I could take this camera and turn it around this room, this is my game room. There's Dragon Warrior characters here, Dragon Ball characters here, Sandland characters here. Dr. Slump is back over there. Like the influence is impeccable. Like I had to go get a Dragon Ball shirt. Like, oh, do I get this one? This one? I'm wearing Dragon Ball pants. Hold on, I'm gonna show you my pants. Look at my pants. Look at my pants. Look at this. Dragon Ball pants. Like it's everywhere. It's the games I play, and not even games that like Toriyama touched. Like just the influence of what game? Let's see. Let me think of the game. What was the game? Oh, Last Blade. Do you remember Last Blade for the Neo Geo SNK? One of the main characters, like you could push a button, Kaide. You push a button, he had yellow hair.
Yeah, that's right. He would go. I mean, look at Bleach.
Bleach.
Come on, just because your hair turns white doesn't mean you're not borrowing that, dude. So much like. And we even joke about it nowadays, right? Even in Western comics, this isn't even my final form. It has become a verb, like say, "Oh, he's gone," or an adjective. That's Super Saiyan. That's Super Saiyan Wolverine right there. It's just crazy how much of an influence and how much of a vocabulary and everybody gets it in the geekdom world, right? People that know this pop culture reference knows what you're talking about. Whenever you're watching a trailer and you're like, dude, they done made that motherfucker Super Saiyan. And people are like, oh, yeah, I get it. Because they watched it. They grew up with the stuff. Admit it. Who else tried to power up once to try to conjure up a Kamehameha as a kid? Shoot, man, I'm 45 and I still do it. You get me drunk enough and I'll try to conjure one up right now.
As I said, my kids literally did this to me 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they did this to me. So.
Yamcha was amazing. Wolfang Fist. He was good in Dragon Ball, but by the time Dragon Ball Z came out, man. Does anyone remember waking up early Saturday morning only for it to completely restart the Frieza saga?
The other one I remember, early Saturday morning, was the Dragon Warrior cartoon.
That was before Dragon Ball in America.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I found this on YouTube the other day. I'm like, all right, children, we're gonna watch this. And they were just like,
it didn't last long, unfortunately.
No, it didn't last very long. But they were still like, because like they knew the music and they knew the art style and they knew the characters. So like, yeah, absolutely. It's generational. It surpasses generations of fandom. Is what Akira Toriyama's art and his stories did.
I think Dragon Ball was the first form of media I learned that the main guys, good guys, can die. Media that the fast as fuck fights with my friends. Oh, we imitated that too, brother. And as kids and changing, like I remember working at what was it? It was a warehouse, and there was another dude that also liked Dragon Ball, and we would side eye each other, like like the characters. Like when a new pallet would show up with all the stuff we had to unload, we side eyed each other just to see who would unload it. You missed the vital organs. All of them. Yes, Frieza, Cell, Boo. Hard to create more iconic villains, not heroes without them.
I mean, we got to protect the kids.
And dude, how sexy did Vegeta make the Widow's Peak? Come on, man. You got some dudes and ladies that are into Widow's Peak guys now because of Vegeta, right?
Sorry, I have rich full hair, so I can't pull this off.
I remember hearing some kids like when I was younger. I think it was a girl I was dating, and her kid was in a Dragon Ball Z, and she's like, I remember that little kid. He's probably like 4 or something. He's like, man, I can't wait till my hair looks like that. And I was like, you wanna have a receding hair? Then I thought that's because Vegeta's such a badass. That
Vegeta's awesome.
Yes, he can wear a pink shirt that says "Bad Man." Ain't nobody gonna mess with him.
And like, yep, that shirt's dope.
Is Dragon Ball gonna be over? Well, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z ended. Super continued, and then there's Daimon, and I'm sure. I mean, Dragon Ball will always be a thing. It will always
Yeah.
continue. Somebody else will be taking it
Yeah,
over.
just
It
like
just won't
Mickey
be the
Mouse
same.
and Disney cartoons are a thing. Like, yeah, it's not gonna
Yeah, it's just the manga theater is a must read. Absolutely 100%. A lot of his old short stories. Viz released was it 1 or 2 hardcovers, Josh? I think 2. Namu and Ranfuan was the first single issue I had. That and Stormy Muscle Tower, how I got into Dragon Ball. Man, starting with the Namek saga as a kid did Bulma dirty for me. I grabbed all my bootlegs from the dirt mall before we had does. Oh, brother, we all did, man. That's you had to do what you could, right? That's how it was back then. The Super Saiyan 3 transformation from Faulkner is
right there,
iconic.
right there. Like, that's the other thing that, like, that stuck in my head. The first time Goku turned Super Saiyan 3, and it only lasted like 10 minutes, but that was like, what is happening? Like, that music, like, I still hear the American music of like,
Oh yeah, I was like, what music? Because that wasn't in the Japanese dub.
Oh, dude,
But
like
I
said,
will say Gohan
stuck in my
going
head.
Super Saiyan 2 during the Cell
Well, okay, so
saga.
like someone in the chat asked what's
That
your favorite moment
Japanese
in Dragon
song
Ball.
where the
I
damn
think,
birds flying,
yeah,
and you're like, why is a bird flying? It didn't
'cause it's
matter. It's
epic.
just so
I
iconic.
think my favorite moment in Dragon Ball is probably Goku, because he's the iconic son, turning Super Saiyan 2 and then blasting Frieza with his dad walking behind him. Like, that's probably it.
I've got that
But
statue. I have
yeah,
that statue.
yeah. But the first time Goku turned Super Saiyan 3 and the first time Goku turned Super Saiyan, like those things, and Vegeta when he was on the moon and was like, "Ah!" and the music was like, the piano. And he
I
turned,
remember the first time I saw Vegeta, because keep in mind, again, we didn't have these. We had the movies translated bootleg style, but the first time he did the Big Bang Attack, I think it was in the it was in the Cooler movie. I was like, whoa, when did that happen? And it didn't, it happened earlier on because we just didn't get them here in America. The Home for Infinite Losers. Thank you all. Thank you. That's what it
I couldn't remember what it was. It wasn't hell. It was, that's what it was. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Funnily enough, if you got the VHS dubs of those first 3 movies with the Ocean cast, they said kill and curse too. Vegeto's my favorite character, and I agree with you. Majin Vegeta got me tear. Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
100%, brother. Also, when Vegeta's tearing up in front of Goku as he's dying from his injuries Frieza gave him, that was a good moment too. And I will say that about the dub. That dub was good too. But, when he had to bury him. Journey to the West.
The burial, he was talking to him and stuff.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh man,
that's good. Journey to the West is one of my favorite stories. Hell, we wouldn't have Ranma without Toriyama.
Ranma.
Yeah, I mean,
oh yeah, Inuyasha, Bleach,
came here.
One Piece,
the front yard practicing my Kamehameha waves. I think, how was it? Now, in the original Dragon Ball dub, was it Kamehameha? Is that what they used to say? Not Dragon Ball Z. The original Dragon Ball, the gotta catch those Dragon Balls. That song.
Oh yeah.
Right?
They make your dreams come true.
We didn't even see Krillin. That's how bad it did. We didn't even get the Krillin.
Yeah.
But I think it was translated as the Kamehameha way.
Kamehameha. I think it was Kamehameha. I think you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody helped Goku create a Genki Dama. Yes. That's what it was to me, man. Android 18 and Krillin created couple goals for many people worldwide. I love that. I would love to see Trunks drawn by Rob Liefeld. That's an interesting thing, Ethan. You know what? I'm there. And we're going to see a lot of tributes coming in the next few days by a lot of American artists, people you may not have even thought were inspired, musicians, actors.
They are
creators, right? Wrestlers that you didn't even think were inspired by Dragon Ball Z or Akira Toriyama. And I'm not just sticking to just Dragon Ball Z, because how many of us were inspired by Chrono Trigger? Like I said earlier, I named my dog Chrono after that game. I love that game.
The music in that game.
And there's a reason why Chrono Cross, no offense to anybody that loves it, is not as memorable.
Yeah, no offense. I like Chrono Cross, and there's a remaster for the
Switch. Like Chrono Cross.
But dude,
but you live and breathe Chrono Trigger.
I went through, there's 10 endings in this game. God, I did all 10 endings of this game. That's how fun and perfect this thing was. It's also on the DS too.
I remember getting a copy, because it looked like a super deformed Trunks, Chibi, sorry, that's what they call it now, of Go-Go Ackman. I love Go-Go Ackman.
Yeah.
Like all three of them on the Super Famicom. Dragon Ball resonates because of all the characters are quirky outsiders. We all feel that way, especially during adolescence. This is why X-Men was equally as popular. Well said, my friend. Well said. As a massive fan of Toriyama, let's also appreciate his other works such as Dr. Slump.
Yep.
Ackman. Hey, I just mentioned Ackman.
We talked about that.
Nico Magin, yes.
I forgot about Nico Magin. Okay.
And I forgot about Jaco. And let's not forget Koa. That came out here in America.
Yeah.
The Galactic Patrolman, terrific author and artist. His death is a huge loss.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're getting a resurgence of Sandland. That's good.
I'm glad that they brought it back. I mean, there's a lot of licenses that publishers here in America have. They just sit on, and because the catalog is just so big. Future Trunks' first Super Saiyan transformation is my favorite transformation. The story and emotion that Akira Toriyama put into that story was phenomenal. Agreed. Dude, Johnny, you want to get in here? I'll send you a link, Johnny and Josh. You guys want to get in here? I'll send you a link. We'll all celebrate. Bring a drink though.
Yeah, I got a few more minutes. I got to bounce because I got to work. But yeah,
I am working. I got to work tomorrow. I got to record like 3 videos.
That's true. You got to work on a different schedule than me, my friend.
Question to Omar, Rob, and everyone in the chat. What was your favorite all-time? Ooh, what a good one.
Yes. Yeah, this is the question that I really liked. So I'm glad that you found it again.
Okay, so everybody in the chat.
My favorite fight.
What was your favorite all-time fight? If you can pick just one in the Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z series, mine was the fight between Goku and Majin Vegeta and Piccolo versus Android 17.
So it might be for me.
Oh, you can only pick one, Rob.
Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell. That might be the one for me. Although
Perfect Cell versus Gohan.
Perfect Cell versus Gohan, not Goku. Gohan.
So the end battle.
Yeah.
When Gohan.
But then again, though,
punches him so hard he pukes Android 18 out. You remember he turns into not Perfect Cell? How, dude? You ever?
I had already said, like Gohan doing this with his dad in the background, destroying, like, you know, that was a huge thing, right? That really talked to me, right? So that battle might be the one for me, maybe. But I also have to say, Frieza with Goku on the planet, and Frieza, like, you know, it's just being an ass the whole time, and Goku's like, I'm not gonna kill you, and then like talk shit. I don't know, man. I think it's Perfect Cell and Gohan. I think that's it. I think
Perfect Cell and Gohan. Really?
I think so. But then the other thing is, we also, and like, you know, people think that Majin Buu is kind of cheesy and quirky, and Akira Toriyama didn't have that much. He was like trying to be done with this. I really like Majin Buu. I really like Buu. So, but I think I'm gonna go with Cell.
So, huh? That's a great fight. I like that one too. This is tough, man. I want to go with something from the movies, but if I gotta go with
movies, you gotta be Broly.
Well, I mean, but that's not manga though, so I have to go with the manga. Oh, Frieza and Trunks. I swear to God, like Frieza. That's the original. Yeah, when he cuts them in half and chops them in pieces.
The only reason I didn't pick that because that's so quick. Like that happens like this.
I don't care, dude. But that's how bad. Look, I even used it as the background. That's how badass he was.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing at all.
Yeah, man, loved it. Best fight in Dragon Ball: Goku versus Piccolo, Daimaku in the first arc. To be honest, that was a good one. I'm gonna highlight people's.
Oh,
that was a good one. Because remember, he burst through him at the end of the fight.
Like he went through his. It's not in this one, but it's in this.
Oh my God, the song in Blue Dragon when they're fighting a boss. I actually love that song.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Blue Dragon's right over there. That's
so bad. I love it. Thank you for mentioning Blue Dragon.
Oh man, Blue Dragon
was on the Xbox 360. Very underrated game. Yes.
Hold on. See if I can find it. Hang on. I think I have.
So good. All right, I'm gonna highlight people's. Thank you for reminding me of that. By the way, when I think of Dragon Ball, I always remember Piccolo in the 17 fight.
Here we go.
A good fight. Go Ackman. Dude, I wanted that for years. Yep.
Blue Dragon.
But
Akira
did you ever,
Toriyama joint.
did you ever play it?
Oh yeah, look. I have the. Oh my gosh. Apparently, okay. If you weren't sure,
I've got the toys.
if you weren't sure if I liked Akira Toriyama and his influence, inside of this box, this is new. The receipt is into this.
Of
I
course,
bought my
because you're gonna return it.
with this game. I didn't buy an Xbox 360 till this game came out.
Dude, Rob, I'll be honest with you.
Dumbfounding. Yeah, the receipt is for an Xbox.
Blue Dragon is the reason I bought an Xbox 360. My brothers thought it was because of Halo 3.
Yeah, the reason I bought an Xbox is apparently because of Blue Dragon. Because on this receipt is for $349 for 360 is the Xbox and also Blue Dragon. And look at this art. Look at this. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, man. Wait. I think inside of here, didn't they actually have art for real? Look at these characters. Look at this.
I've got some of those toys.
Yeah. That is super dope. So there you go. Again, if it wasn't clear how much of an influence Akira Toriyama was, I didn't buy an Xbox until this game came out.
Johnny, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, I'm so bummed, dude. I couldn't believe the text I got. What's up, Rob? Nice to meet you. We've never met, so I'm Johnny. Nice
what's up, Johnny? I've seen you, so I know who you are. It's good to meet you.
Same back at you. So nice to meet you.
Johnny's a big Dragon Ball Z guy. I also invited Josh, but I don't know if he's got the link or not. Let me highlight some of these favorite fights. But when I do, what's the best fight in Dragon Ball Z, Johnny? Goku versus Frieza, Goku versus Cell, Goku versus
Vegeta in Saiyan Saga, 100%. Absolutely.
Favorite
Even
one?
though the second fight looks like aesthetically, the second fight looks better because the animation's a little sharper by the Buu Saga, but first fight. And
so the original first fight before he goes full, or when he goes.
When he does the Kaioken times like 20, I think that's as high as he goes.
Times 20. Yep.
That's that's the best fight, 100%.
I can get down with that. I really like that. Because then that's when you see, Vegeta's such a jerk, but the persistent, but then he changes. This is the catalyst for how can someone who is so awful and bad and evil turn into someone you can like? I actually, now that you say this, I remember I will never like Vegeta. He's a jerk. And then we talked about earlier, Majin Vegeta dying, and we're all crying because we love him so much.
Oh, that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. First Vegeta Goku fight favorite. What about you, Josh? Welcome to the chat, buddy.
Hey.
Oh, your mic's not working.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
He's muted.
You figured that out. I'm gonna highlight some King Piccolo versus Goku is a classic one. Vegeta versus Goku. I'm just learning this, dude. We're all here, just sharing memories of the great Toriyama. You're good. Josh, what's the best Dragon Ball Z fight?
God, Dragon Ball Z has to be Goku versus Cell, especially because I remember
Goku versus Cell. I said Gohan versus. Cell.
Sorry, not Cell. Frieza.
Okay.
I was I almost miss him changing Super Saiyan because I used to have to put the VHN to tape it. And I was getting a haircut with my dad, and I forgot to put that tape in. And that was the episode. Luckily, I just got home right when the recap was done. But man, the tournament arcs in Dragon Ball, because like I said, I found the single issue, and I didn't know for years that this was from Japan. And I remember getting woken up at 5:30 at a friend's house to Dragon Ball, and it didn't click that I'm these are the same things.
The Dragon Ball with the gotta catch them.
The Ocean dub.
My brother was the same way.
Yep. And
it's funny in the Ocean dub, Bulma's singing that when she has the Dragon Radar in the Namek saga.
Really?
She's singing the English song.
Making dreams come true.
How meta is that? Oh, dude, so many memories.
Because here's the thing too. Because I got
Look at
that. Do you not have this?
Yes, I just got that.
How many volumes are there?
Got that in.
Just one.
Yes.
Okay, we
got. They did two of those.
Because here's the other thing, man. Because I ordered wrong one. Because I remember I ordered this from Japan.
Yeah.
Yes, sick.
And what kills me? Wait, shine me one more time. There's
here. You show that. I'm going to show you one of my favorite things that I own that for some reason never got finished translated here in America.
Yeah, there's one page of his pencils, and it's give me a book of this. That's what I want. But man, this hit me hard because I was on the NMC Discord and James posted it, and literally it felt like knocked the wind out of me. Because man, like I took the color palette for Bang. Like there is this is a love letter to Toriyama, and it's one of those. God, it's a tight. Like we lost a titan. I mean, even my background, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the earliest things I remember ever getting from Japan when I first found the use of the internet, besides porn, was
the internet.
That's the whiskey. That's the bourbon talking.
Oh,
was this?
You have the whole set?
Of course, I've got the whole set.
I only have 2 or
Kenny
3 of them.
Omar, dude. Let me
Man.
like this. This started translating these. These are the hardcover art
Yes.
of Dragon Ball.
I have that one. I have
Yeah.
that one.
So this
That's
has been
what I have.
translated into English, but unfortunately, they didn't go through the whole thing. I don't think it sold well enough. But there's a total of 7 of them, and then there's a 3-volume which they never made into a hardcover because keep in mind when they were making these, they weren't done with Dragon Ball Z yet, the animation.
Yeah.
So what they did, this is the final volume of the hardcover. They're beautiful. I mean, look at
Oh
that.
my goodness.
And they did 3 of these, and they never came out in a hardcover format. So these are like the additional things. I mean, it's art of, right?
Mhm.
It's like the movies,
Oh,
but you get the pencils, you get the, oh my God, you get the early drafts, you get like this stuff right here. Oh, it's wonderful. They come in dust jackets. Like this is one of my favorite things I remember as a damn, the internet was what, 1997? Yeah, that's probably like
1996.
18, 19 when I got these. To this day, like, dude, and Josh can probably appreciate this. I fooled myself into thinking one day I was going to be drawing comics, and I would look at these for reference guides, and a lot of the pages in here still have pencils, like the rubbing of pencils on them, because I was drawing and flipping fate, like I was just while listening to Dragon Ball Z music, and all these memories are just coming back, and it's insane. It's almost overwhelming.
I gotta go, but I want to do segment to what you just said. You being an artist and you being inspired by Akira Toriyama, you made for me, and it's behind here if you can't see it.
That's right.
You made this for me. Talking about the influence. Oh my gosh, I'm breaking everything. Of Akira Toriyama.
Mr. Satan versus 18.
By the way,
thank you for the super chat. Jesus H.
please
Christ.
buy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that supports me and my family. Please buy that. But you made this.
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
For me. So my wife is not very much a anime video game kind of nerd person, but when Dragon Ball was coming out on VHS and on DVD, we made sure to queue up and watch every single one. We watched them all together. We were huge fans of this. And you recognize this, and you and your brothers like contributed and made this awesome, like amazing piece of art, right? And we love this thing. So this is proof. This is proof how much Akira Toriyama has influenced the relationships and things that people do. So I gotta end it with thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Look, you forgot about that, didn't you? You forgot.
I did forget about that. I did forget about that.
Yeah.
When I said I wanted to be an artist, I forgot that I still from time to time I still draw things for my friends.
Please do.
Aria, how are you? But yeah, man, thank you for joining me. I would not have done this without you, because if I had called and you've been like, man, I can't, I got to put the kids to bed, I'd be like, well, I don't want to be online alone, like
Online alone.
Akira Toriyama and drinking. That is not a good look.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sleep very well tonight. The kids tomorrow, we're gonna talk. We're gonna like, hey, let's watch some more Dragon Ball. Like we're gonna spend some time in Toriyama land. Absolutely.
I do want to point this out though, because it's gut wrenching. But he like I said, at least he didn't die like in a deadline hell. He knew like how beloved his series was, like, because especially every interview I've heard, like he just saw himself as a simple working man, not as like the god of art that he is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and he passed away. Yeah, he passed away way too young. And apparently we have new stuff to look forward to, according to the press release. So hopefully, maybe, like I said,
he was working on multiple projects.
Yeah. So like
God bless Rob. What if one of those projects was Chrono Trigger 2? I don't think we can handle
all my money.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I could handle it, man.
No,
Oh,
I'm
so
done.
many memories of that
I'm done.
game.
I'm done.
Gotta say, I'm utterly crushed. I've been a fan of the series since Dragon Ball as a kid. I'm glad I was able to grow up. Goku versus. There's a lot of good fights that you all are picking.
Oh yeah.
Go to bed,
So
Rob.
I'm gonna say I wanna go off, but appreciate you guys, love you all, and let's all sing together. Chala and chala.
Hell yeah.
Be good,
All right,
buddy.
guys.
I'll talk
Peace,
to you
love
later,
one
man.
another, keep gaming, keep reading, and inspiring others in all the things you do. Peace.
Okay,
Do I
Rocky
remember
Dragon
how
was
much
so
I
much
paid
better.
for these? Oh gosh,
Those are
I
expensive.
bought them one at a time. At the time, they were probably $30 each. Probably, I don't know. And honestly, they're not that hard to find. I don't think now. I think you can
You
still
got to get
go-
them from Japan, though. I've never seen them like for sale in the U.S. Very
Well,
rarely.
like I said, Viz did it. I think they did one. They might have done two, and then they dropped it.
Yo,
The
let
next
me.
thing
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
run
hold a
upstairs
memorial
real
for 'em.
quick. I want to run upstairs and grab something that I want to show off. That's
Yeah, man,
related
go
to
ahead.
this. Yeah, I'll be right back. It's cool. Trust me.
Thank you, Dragon Balls. Dragon Moon X AOL introduced me to women. Well, there's that too. Hey guys, Frenchman here. Dragon Ball literally changed my life. The manga and anime industry would not be the same without its work. I would not be the same without it. May he rest in peace. I think a lot of us feel like that.
He introduced the whole like tournament arc, which is like all a shonen now. Like
Wait a second. Hey Omar, I don't know if you remember me, but I went by Destroya from the Dragon Ball Toys forums. That's the forum I was talking about that Dan made. Days and later. Oh my God, you're that guy from About Heroes, Spidey Man. Yeah, but this is a very sad day, dude. Jonathan, I didn't know that was you, man. Oh my God, this goes back like 20 plus years. And so my friend Dan, thank you, Jonathan, for bringing that up, was the guy that made DragonBallToys.com because he was so infatuated with Dragon Ball toys, even though he got into it way later after I did, but he was a lot better at making websites. And I was like, why don't you just do a website? And he was like, I think I will. And then eventually both of us started writing articles for magazines. It was a crazy ride.
I had to be on that site at some point because I remember back
yeah, there was he made that
yeah.
forum and then he had a baby and left it. And wow, dude, I do remember you. I hope you're doing well, man.
I definitely got made fun of in 8th grade for being on DragonBallToys.com in a computer class, and like my peers were like, "John's on Dragon Ball Toys. What's he doing?" And at that age, like they were just not into it, except for me. So yeah, I got made fun of for that. Good site though. That was dude back in the day. Like that was one of the only sites that you could like Dragon Ball on.
And then Dan did the very American thing you do when you get too big. He sold the site.
Yeah.
And he sold it, and I think it just became a spam thing. And yeah.
Hey Omar, what if we make fun of Johnny for being in on DragonBallToys.com in the computer class in 8th grade right now?
You could do it.
I am drinking. I like Johnny. He's a good guy. What did you bring, Johnny? What do you got?
So, okay, this is like probably my most like prized possession in my whole personal collection. So this is the first Dragon Ball VHS I ever bought when I was like 11 years old. And probably 4 years ago at C2E2, I brought it and I was able to get it signed by Sean Schemmel and why am I drawing a blank? What's Vegeta? Chris Sabat. So that I don't know. That's just one of my most prized possessions. And then I also grabbed, if any of you are familiar, I've always wanted to nerd out about these with someone who knows about
Are those
them.
the Dragon boxes?
I have the whole set. You know what the Dragon boxes are? Do you see my?
I know what they. Do you know who you're talking to? It's
I
not
love
just
you.
collected editions, baby.
You're the best.
Dude, I love the Dragon boxes. Okay, I'm not the best. I actually sold the 3 that I had because times were hard, Johnny.
I get it. And dude, these are expensive. Like the whole set, you could probably.
Stop.
It's so
stop right there. I don't need to know.
It's crazy.
I don't need to know.
Hey, I'm cool with it, but for all the other people who don't know, what the hell is the Dragon boxes?
Oh, the Dragon boxes. Okay, so you know how in America, the orange boxes is what was released, and they widescreened it. But people were upset because when you widescreen something that was not originally shown widescreen, you're losing art at the top and the bottom.
Yes.
But expanding the art to the left and right, like Landfield. But it's okay to lose like the top of Goku's head, which is important. But hey, we need more landfill. Whatever. That decision was made by Funimation. The Dragon Ball boxes, or the Dragon boxes as we called them, had the full screen upscale from
4x3.
Japan.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And the Dragon boxes are the only release that have the original Japanese title cards in the beginning of each episode. Every other release has the American version.
Hey, Josh, can you ban that person, please? You'll know the one.
Yeah, okay.
Gross.
Yeah. Grow up. They need a re-release. I would love to see a re-release of the Dragon boxes. I want that tint version of Vegeta. Goku reuniting with Grandpa Gohan will always be. I actually like the movie that is the ending of the Dragon Ball GT, like that Dragon Ball GT movie.
Oh,
yeah.
It was fun seeing that retelling of the old Dragon Ball with the newer style and animation. Like, man, one of my favorite movies is Princess in the Sleeping Demon Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Dragon Ball movie. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Josh. Akira Toriyama was one of a kind. Thank you for the super chat, John. From Dr. Slump to Dragon Ball to Chrono Trigger to Sandland, Dragon Quest's impact and legacy is immeasurable. Absolutely, buddy. Josh, you know, Toriyama was a huge inspiration for me, and I loved watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami late at night. Yeah, I was envious of the people that got to see it for the first time through Toonami, because I waited years, and I'm never one of these hipsters that's like, I'm done with Dragon Ball now that it's popular. I loved it because it meant that I actually didn't have to wait long for it to be translated and to get over here legally, so I didn't have to rely on my crappy bootleg tapes.
Did you all have bootlegs, or both of you? I definitely had bootleg tapes.
Oh my god, yeah. Because that was the only way to get some of those sagas.
Or the movies. I had all the 13 movies I had on like bootleg, because those weren't released at the time.
I never owned those on bootleg, but man, I was the sucker who bought all the Garlic Jr. saga on VHS.
Ooh.
So that was my favorite one for a while, because I'm like, I own it.
And the Garlic Jr. saga is really interesting because that's a sequel to a movie that's not canon.
Right.
But it's still sort of memorable to me, at least, because it was the last saga that people were bootlegging.
You know what I like about it? It's not common in Dragon Ball Z, but it's more common in GT, and they do it in Garlic Jr. Is a lot of the fighting scenes are done at night, like the background is dark and at night, and I like that aesthetic more, and they don't do that often in Dragon Ball Z. It's usually like a bright daytime. Very few times where it's very dark for long stretches.
About to drink water at the top of a hill. That's awesome. Dragon Ball Burger King toys and cards. I remember Piccolo Daima's introduction. After all these years, I still have my Dragon Ball fan subs on VHS, probably around 100 tapes. Oh my god, dude. I'm so glad you kept those. Are those the one? Oh, what was the name of the Anime Labs that made Frieza like a Nazi racist? Do you remember the Anime Labs subtitles?
Yes.
When I finally got to see the real subtitle, I was like, oh, I mean, he's still an asshole, but he's not racist, so I guess that's a plus.
What are you guys' thoughts on Team 4-Star and Abridged?
My wife loves them. It's okay.
What?
Dude, I'm weird like that because I also don't like what's the thing everybody loves? The
Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
No, shut up. MSTK, that thing. The Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not in on that.
Love that. And I'm like, I don't get it.
So
you want to watch people make fun of a movie? Why can't you do it yourself?
I was gonna say, Johnny, you're the odd man one out here, because like
you're not a fan of Abridged either.
No,
I've never been a fan, but I love that the people love it. I think it's great. It brought a lot of attention to Dragon Ball because of them.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, I think that's how we got like Super and a lot of, because I mean, they kept that fandom alive for years.
Yeah, Super kind of came out of nowhere. You're very right about that. Whoa, it's been 13 years.
Well, I mean, it came out of a movie, right? Because there wasn't an interest until
Battle of the Gods came out first. Right?
Yeah. I used to be a bit of a snob when I was younger with the sub versus dub. or score argument in DB. I
Mm.
grew up and realized we were all just fans of the source material, period. Absolutely.
And they both really have a like they're both appealing for different reasons, not even just because of like nostalgia. Like it's a different feel, man. Like the Falconer store
Well,
is
and
so
the Ron, somebody was earlier
Falconer.
saying the Ron Wasserman score was actually solid. Like
Is
in the
that
American version.
Is that the Ocean dub? Not
The
not Funimation.
No, it wasn't the Funimation, it was the Ocean dub.
It is the Ocean, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Some of the Ocean stuff was all right. Vegeta Ocean dubbed Vegeta.
Oh, Goku Ocean was the voice of Cheetor in Beast Wars, so I was happy with that.
I did not know that.
I did not like the Funimation first Goku.
It's rough.
I don't know who that dude was, but I'm glad you all liked him.
Also,
I had downloads of the dubs on Real Player.
I was gonna say my favorite sub versus dub argument is King of the Hill in Japan, because I think it's the most brilliant thing.
Yeah, I just recently heard about that, and I've been sharing that with my friends. That's funny, dude.
Rob and I were out drinking one night, and we were both talking about that a few months ago.
It's pretty wild.
Ten's Onslaught Cell. We got super because of Dragon Ball Evolution, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
The best fight is
the
Raditz
worst
versus
movie I've
Goku
ever seen.
and Piccolo. Dude, when freaking Piccolo shot the, I'm sorry, what is it called in America? The super
special beam cannon, baby.
Beam cannon. Yeah, whatever. When he shot that through and it went through his body and they killed Goku too, knowing it was gonna kill. But Goku's like, it's okay, you can bring me back with the Dragon Balls. It was like, what?
I was gonna say, because I didn't see all of Dragon Ball at that point, so like I knew like they were the same. But when they're like, you can bring me back with the Dragon Balls, so I was like, what is he? Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
like, because I'm like, they just killed the main character.
Any opinion on Dragon Ball Z and super favorite moments? I actually like the Goku Black arc, which is, I know, a long arc. Not a lot of, and I think it's a divisive arc, right? But I like seeing future post-apocalyptic possible stories. I've always been a fan of that stuff, so I'm good with that. Special beam cannon. Yeah, Johnny got it right. Thank you so much. Richard knows what's up. Yeah, that's the name. And then remember, Gohan has his own, but Gohan doesn't like that. In Japanese, Gohan doesn't call it by the full name because he can't say it. Like, he only uses a part of it. I love that.
Masenko is Gohan's, right? I think.
Yeah.
Masenko, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my God, when Gohan wears the Piccolo outfit, still gets me. I love it.
Hey, here's a good one. Favorite Dragon Ball video games. Mine would be Budokai 3 on the PS2. Do you guys have one?
I have a soft spot.
Say GT. Please say the GT.
Super Nintendo. Well, GT was the very first one we got in America.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, it's unfair, right? On the PlayStation. Yeah. I have a soft spot for the crappy Super Famicom ones, man.
Okay.
Like, you are such a hipster with that.
Three, I think. No, it's not because I'm a hipster. It's just because I played the Saturn one, the one in the 3. What is that? Ultimate Battle 22.
Yes.
And it was
man.
It was going through the sagas, right? It was going through the sagas, and I thought, I like 2D. I'm a fan of 2D animation. So I love like Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, and things like that. I'm not a fan of 3D fighting games like Tekken and Soul Calibur. They're beautiful, right? Soul Calibur's beautiful. But I like 2D fighting games.
Yesterday was the 38th anniversary of Street Fighter 2. Speaking of, that's kind of crazy.
We don't talk about how old that is either, man.
I was gonna say,
it makes me feel old.
Because you were playing it in the arcade when it came out, right?
Yes, I was putting my quarters ready to call dibs on the next guy.
I was barely even born, baby.
Thank you so much, Shaz Veres. And Toriyama's panels and composition were transcending. Oh yeah, I mean, even to this day, we have Western artists that take a lot of the composition from him, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think, whatever.
The only
thank you, NFL dude. Glad you're here, man.
Before we go on, because the only other guy I've seen like who has as good a spacing is the dude who draws One Punch Man. Because like the way like Toriyama can draw like it's a square. We all know it's a square, but you always know the relationship of both figures in the fight at all time. Like, it's never a question.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, Oda is like that, but Oda's art gets a little confusing at times too during battles. Toriyama was just easier to follow because that wonderful, beautiful, smart son of a bitch did something that I was like, oh, why haven't other people done this? And that is use the technique of like when somebody's above you, like punching you down, you're just traveling so fast. You don't have to draw the the guy like actually falling. You just draw the next panel of him just down there because that's how fast they move. So Goku's already in the next panel. And I'm like, oh my God, that is genius. Why has nobody has done that? I remember when I read the manga for the first time because I thought it was just an anime trick. Oh, they're cutting on animation costs by just drawing him appear here and then down here at the bottom of the fight. But no, it came straight from the manga. And I thought that was such a genius move to not have to draw the action of traveling down.
That's subtle, man. I've never even noticed that. That's
what you think will be the future Dragon Ball Super manga. It will continue.
Oh yeah.
It's a big seller. It will continue.
Keep it like, especially when there's like Macy Day parade floats. It's like it's not going to stop anytime soon. You know,
it's very popular right now. It's very in the mainstream.
Yu Hakusho, Hunter, Shaman King are masterpieces thanks to Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
a lot of it is. I mean, what was the DNA? He was a huge fan of. I mean, they were friends. I was the newest Dragon Ball Super movie. You know, I still haven't seen the new. Is it Broly?
No, it's
superheroes, right?
Oh, yeah, the one with the two androids, right?
Yeah,
and Supercell or whatever it is, like Super Max Cell or some crap. It was okay. The animation was cool.
Legends on the PlayStation, Budokai, Piccolo's the best dad in the DB unit, yeah, because he stayed. Well, Budokai 3 and
whoa, wait a minute. I am tired of this slander against Goku. Now here's the no.
Go ahead, fighters. Budokai 3.
Keep in mind, we only see Dragon Ball for like, I don't know, we only see like maybe 2 months out of all the story. Because they do giant time jumps where it's like, you know, Gohan's a little kid, 5 years later, Cell shows up. You know, they do, or Frieza shows up. Goku was around. I'm not taking that crap.
Well, he wasn't the greatest dad.
He let Gohan go through a tree when he was like 3. Like,
dude raised himself on the woods.
He did choose to fight over. I'll stay with my son.
I'm just gonna train in the other world. See you, kid.
Oh, by the way, no, Josh. I feel like this debate. There's a reason for this debate, and it's okay because you can still like Goku. He's still a very charming, likable guy. Nothing like working late and having some life come. I'm glad you're here, man. Can I get a quick shout out for Dende? Wow, nobody's mentioned Dende. You like grown up Dende or little Dende that got shot by Frieza behind the back?
Little Dende is the man.
Dude, I remember my kids watching that. They were like, "Did they just kill a kid?" And I was like, "Yes, that is a child." and then my youngest daughter was like, "Wait, they've got the Dragon Balls. They can bring them back." You guys remember Master Roshi giving the redemption speech to 10? Yes. And I feel like Master Roshi is a character that could not exist in today's society, which makes me sad.
Yeah,
because that kind of humor just still gets me.
You know, the first Goku versus Master Roshi fight from Dragon Ball at the tournament, that didn't get enough love when you asked about the best fight.
That's a good
That's a really good one, actually. That's
what Johnny. That was Jackie Chan. I don't know that was Jackie Chan. That was Master Roshi.
That's a good point.
Omar, my stance on the Goku versus Superman debate, like who's stronger or the similarities that they both come from another planet and Goku's Kakarot and and Kal-El and there's powered up. Yeah, they both died and came back. I don't know. Two different universes.
It's also one, Japan has a huge history of like, they're not great at inventing their own things. They're better at taking other things and making it better. Because like a lot of like Japanese culture came from mainland China. But it's also like with Lupin the Third, when Monkey Punch made that, he's like, the French will never find out about this.
Oh, the Lupin?
Yeah. When the French found out, it's like, we'll call him Wolf for a while. I don't know, the whole like, it's an archetype because it's like, if you go like, oh, Superman or Goku's a copy of Superman, there's a ton of copies of Superman. Like, it is not a new thing. Like Homelander, Captain Marvel, we can go down a giant list.
I mean, Tezuka was a fan of Disney, so it like, to me, it's always been a case of art inspiring art.
Right.
Any opinion on the upcoming Sandman anime? Yeah, sure. It makes sense, right? Yoshitaka Amano did the whole arc. I'm there for it. Jiren versus Goku, Android 17, and Frieza and DB Super. That fight is epic. I actually like a little bit of GT's fights.
Yeah.
GT's fights, they had some good fights.
Well, the animation's smooth. It's like the Boo Saga at that point where the animation is just smooth. It just is.
Oh, Krillin and GT broke my heart with him and Android 18 when they're holding hands when they died, right?
Also,
Does anyone die?
Krillin starting off as like the most annoying character because when you first meet him, you're like, this dude is the worst.
Dude, you know, a lot of things, if you watch like the English dub and the Japanese dub, it's interesting how different some of the characters are just based like Goku.
They're a little more likable. You're right.
I hate Goku in the English dub. I love Sean Shem. I hate Goku, but I love Goku's my favorite character in the Japanese dub. It was crazy the first time I watched it to be like, whoa, Goku's very likable. It's different.
Yeah. I hope we can get some Moro arc in Super now. Krillin is the actual best dad. Oh, Neil, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, he passed away March 1st. So we're just here doing a little cat, like, talking about our favorite memories of Toriyama, which is nice. Yeah, it sucks, man. How aside from Ranma makes Master Roshi look normal. What a haul! What a haul! I told my wife about that. Like, I was like, yeah, characters like those guys are the dude from Fatal Fury. They cannot exist anymore.
I was gonna say, but you know what I meant when we wouldn't have Ranma without Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball was blowing up, like it was extremely popular. So Rumiki Takahashi's like, well, let me try this martial art thing, and that's how we got Ranma.
Oh, I'm glad we did. It's so different though. The final tournament between Goku and Ten is really underrated. Launch, dude, I love that Launch was completely missing from Dragon Ball Z, and then she came back at the very end. Let's be honest, Goku and Superman would probably team up rather than fight one another.
Not Goku. No, Goku would want to fight. Like,
yeah, Goku would want to fight.
Goku would think he's stronger than Superman, though.
Yes, he'd want to prove it. It would be a challenge.
They would team up against Doomsday, somebody ridiculous like that. Oh, this guy killed you? I could take him. Wow, Akira Toriyama is trending almost there. Thank you for the super chat, Silencer, especially on Twitter. As well as you should. Isn't this way past? Yes, I actually was in the middle of editing. Jesus Rivera. En verdad, el español, he's saying the Spanish dub is superior. I've only seen the Garlic Jr. saga in Spanish, brother, because we couldn't get it anywhere else.
But Dragon Ball blew up, especially like I think in like Mexico, like it's huge.
Vegeta is a good dad. Like I said, he knocked out his son, so nobody could stop him from killing himself. Loved it. Yeah. Rob was explaining it a little bit earlier. As it is in Japan, it's typical for the family to, celebrate the life of somebody passing. This happens all the time, and then usually somebody, I think it was the Toriyama estate, and it was a Twitter, I think it was from Toriyama's account that he came out that he had passed away March 1st.
Especially because at the very end of it, they even mentioned they're like, hey, please do not send flowers. Like they had a long list of things not to send because it's like he wasn't, especially like we all love Dragon Ball. Dr. Slump was huge in Japan as well. Like he one of the biggest monsters.
I love Dr. Slump. I love how that led into Dragon Ball. And then we got Dragon Ball Z because it was like, hey, these fights are really popular amongst the kids. Jeez, Zeus knows what's up. Sad news indeed, my brother.
The editors
gone. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I was about to say the editors didn't want him to do Dragon Ball Z because they're like, whoa. We don't know if aging up will be a good call.
So there's a lot of stories on the internet you could read about, like if he was actually supposed to end it at different points. Like, was the Frieza saga supposed to be the end? Was the Cell saga? Like, there's a lot of theories. if you could pick a different endpoint, would you?
Oh, don't do this. Don't do this.
Because to me, it's Cell games. I mean, everything is perfect at the end of Cell games. Gohan's the protector of Earth. Vegeta won't ever fight again. Trunks goes back to the future. Goku gets to stay away.
It is funny because you're mentioning internet, but back in my day, it was magazines. It was
right because there's the interviews with him, and they're translated.
Yeah, and they were translated in English. But I remember it was before. What was the mag? It was An America.
Oh,
And there was another magazine. An America was kind of like the Wizard magazine. Everybody got An America.
Yeah,
it was published by Viz, but there was another magazine that was a little more respectable, kind of like the Hero. You remember how like there was? I don't know if y'all remember. There was Wizard and Hero, and people that liked reading were like, "Oh, Hero magazine's got the better articles," and those guys actually know what they're talking about. Wizard is all about Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, drama.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way it was with An America, and then there was
American Extra.
It might have been. It was a magazine that only came out quarterly, but in that magazine there was a translated interview with him, and I read this many years because I didn't even, like I said, I hadn't gotten to that side. We weren't getting this, but Dragon Ball Z had just ended in Japan, so they were interviewing him, and I didn't even know what the hell it was outside of like, oh, it's a continuation of this Dragon Ball thing. But he had said that at first he wanted to end it in the Frieza saga. That was his ending. But because it was so popular, he continued. They asked him to continue doing it because to him, it didn't make any sense. Like, how can you continue a story when the villain just blew up a planet? How much stronger can these characters get? That guy just blew up a planet. So, he kept it going for as long as he could.
Well, and also because like with this Android / Cell saga, that was like because he had a new editor, and the editor was like, "Oh, what is this old man and fat guy?" Then he introduced 16, 17, and 18,
right?
And they're like, "It's these punk kids." He's like, "All right." Then he's like, "What? It's this weird bug?" Like literally, the editor just kept like
that is true,
popping his head in and being like, "What is this?"
Yeah, that's why the transformations kind of became a thing with the Cell because he didn't like the way the design looked. That's why the second transformation is so quick because he hated the design. The editor did. Yeah. First design is the coolest. I mean, first form Cell is definitely the coolest. Do you guys agree? Oh my!
No, wait, that guy. Oh my god! And then the throwback to Twilight Zone, the movie. Oh, yes. I love that. Absolutely love that.
I got the SH figure arts of Imperfect Cell. I didn't tell you. I meant to.
I love that one.
So
I love those. Yeah, and it's one of my favorite things is the story about him and what's his name, Mazakasu Katsura, the guy that did Video Girl I, DNA, and Shadow Lady. Like that's where the idea of fusion came from because they were talking about like who's more powerful than Goku and Vegeta. And the guy was like, "What about Goku and Vegeta together?" And he was like, "What?" I love that story so much.
Also, can we talk about how great of a creator Toriyama was? Because he was flying by the seat of his pants.
Yeah,
and he has a terrible memory. Like those two things alone should not work.
Do you see any upcoming Western comics, indie or Marvel? Absolutely, 100%. You're going to see a lot of artists. If not tonight, tomorrow, posting pictures of their favorite Dragon Ball characters in their own style. And I mean, anybody, and people that will surprise you too. People that you're like, I don't see any anime influence in this. Doesn't matter.
Especially,
you're going to see it.
I'm looking forward to that, to be honest.
You're going to see it.
What's the
and somebody will cash in on it and release some kind of tribute book because that's just the way the world lives. Oh, thank you for mentioning Pecan.
I like
that character.
What's the wrestling? Because it's not Raw, it's the other one.
SmackDown.
I predict SmackDown tomorrow night.
So those guys are wearing, they'll wear.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers love Dragon Ball.
Israel Adesanya, if you're into UFC, his nickname is the Last Stylebender, and he's all into anime and big Dragon Ball fan. He's a big.
I remember watching DBZ on Toonami, waiting a week for an episode just for them to stare at each other and talk. Worth it, 100% worth it.
Well, and the best was the what was the Saturday night one? Was it where it was uncut? Remember on Saturday nights?
Yeah, Adult Swim.
It was the Adult Swim, but the Toonami one didn't have a different. It was just Toonami Adult Swim.
It was because it was Adult Swim, and then when that took off, they're like, okay, we'll make this a regular thing. But it was
Yeah.
just
Oh,
Adult
I
Swim.
don't remember. That was after my time. I
Also-
remember Sci-Fi would do the Saturday night anime.
Also, the
Right.
worst noise in the world though was next time on Dragon Ball Z. You're like, oh mother.
I'm trying to focus
Dude.
on the positive. Hopefully, this sparks a renaissance in his work so that we can get a lot of his stuff not yet printed. Think I'm going to spend today reading Sandland is so wonderful.
Well,
I love it.
Dude, I would love if we could get like an actual Blu-ray. I mean, we kind of touch on the Dragon boxes, but like if we could get a proper Blu-ray release, which has never been done of Dragon Ball, if this could be the Kickstarter to that, I would really love that because they've not done it. The levels set boxes were the closest.
Yeah, those Dragon Ball box, like the Dragon boxes, go for so much money.
Well, you know, and the only reason I
saved my life.
I bought these because I bought that 30th anniversary one that was like the special edition, and it ended up being not as good as they said it was going to be. The Blu-ray that was like 4x3, but that wasn't even really 4x3 because they didn't get the proper transfers. It's crappy. So I sold that and bought the Dragon boxes.
I'm Latino and I love Dragon Ball in Japanese, English, and Spanish. And DBZ case I can only watch in Japanese. That's the most unpopular DB opinion ever. No, it's not, man. You just watch what you love. That was a really good question you asked earlier. Like, what is the ending to Dragon Ball Z? I like the story not ending, honestly. I kind of like the story continuing. Goku's always going to find somebody to go and pick a fight with. He's going to make a stupid decision.
I was going to say, because in some ways, like, I love the ending of Dragon Ball so much, because it's like, and I do enjoy Dragon Ball Z, but it's like, I'm that mystical fantasy kind of part of it. It's kind of hard.
It's definitely a different tone and it's a different story, really. I mean, yeah, it is.
And I can't get into Super. Nothing against it. It's just I'm not like I love Toriyama's art, so when I see Super, I'm like, it's not for me. But I'm glad it's still around and going on for other people.
And from everything I did watch in Super, and I got pretty deep into it, there's just no blood anymore. Which, like, I mean, I know Dragon Ball wasn't like the bloodiest anime, but like, I don't know, man. Cell killing Krillin with his horns and riding the licking the blood. That was so good. None of that in Super. None of it.
I don't know if anybody knows Gerald Perel, but he's a comic artist who has done some really good DB fan art. AEW will definitely showcase Toriyama love. I feel like it's going to be everywhere tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Absolutely, my brother. I didn't grow up with DBC. My older brother did, but during the COVID lockdown, I joined him in this rewatch of the show along with getting into comics and watching older anime. Oh, good for you. Good for you. I loved hearing that. I've been slowly collecting the manga since, and thank you, Akira, and thanks for the stream. We'll be heading out. Have a good night. You have a good night, too. I have to go and edit, actually. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. You will be missed. Roshi destroyed the moon. Forgot about the ridiculousness of them, like, why don't we just cut his tail? No, we'll just destroy the moon. How awesome was that, man?
It's weird that we went from let's change into giant scissors to solve this problem to the planet's about to blow up. You're half of a body just floating. Good luck.
Okay, no joke right now. DB GT ending gets me the feels. You know what gets me in the feels? I think we're referring to the same thing. Because I think in America they released it as the ending, but there was a movie called Hero's Legacy that came out in '97. I love that movie because to me that felt like a good ending where he merged with the Dragon Balls and it's like his grandkid that's running around with a bandana on his head. It looks just like Goku. All his damn kids and grandkids look the same. But you know what I'm saying? Like he's running around out there and it's like he sees a vision of his grandfather. That one got me. I think his name is Goku Jr. Pon's like might be his great grandson. I can't remember. But that one got me. I like that one. I like
he's
that.
Because he's kind of weak. Like he's the opposite of Goku. Like he doesn't know how to fight. Yeah.
The first two sagas were bloody for sure. Blood was dripping down the faces, and I love it. We all did. We all love that. I grew up watching DB, DBZ, and DBGT. Rest in peace to the greatest all time.
Yamcha's death by Dr. Gero is also one of the best. Dude, so good.
Through the chest. That's what Yamcha was like. I'm out.
Yeah, right. He doesn't do anything after that. You're right.
You all have fun. You all have fun. I'm done. Krillin's got more kill counts than I do. I'm out. I can't do this
though. Talk about character assassination because it used to be like, oh man, when you first meet Yamcha, the desert bandit, he's feared.
Right.
Like,
Bulma had a crush on him. Then Bulma ends up with Vegeta.
So good.
Dude, what about like nobody saw that coming? Good night, brother. There's no blood due to its broadcasting time. It was a Sunday morning cartoon over there. I got to head out for the night, but I hope this will stay up on the channel. Oh, this will stay up. This will stay up.
Also, another quick
Much love,
thing.
brother.
I don't think One Piece would be as good without Dragon Ball, especially because like One Piece took a lot of lessons from Dragon Ball Z with the power scaling and all that stuff to make a better story.
Yeah. I said that a little bit earlier. We wouldn't have things like One Piece, you know, the way the fight scenes are, the way the characters build up, like in the final forms, and I mean, come on, let's face it, God damn it, the gears are nothing but Super Saiyan, right? It's Super Saiyan Luffy 5, Gear 5 with white hair. Come on, we all know what it is, but we still love it. I love it. I don't care. Let's all share our energy this day. A big old Genki Dama all the way to Akira Toriyama. I'll miss Akira Toriyama because he brought me so many memories. And take care. You take care as well, man. I do have to wrap up tonight because I got to go and edit, but I did want to do this. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad so many people joined and sharing stories of our favorite characters or favorite stories. Were you guys big into the video games that he designed, like the Dragon Warrior and the Dragon Quest?
I was about to say, I'm really hoping Dragon Quest 12 has some Akira Toriyama designs.
Well, I mean, he worked on so many of them. For me, it will always be Chrono Trigger, though. Chrono Trigger was the one that that to me is one of my favorite games. And here I was just, when was it? Yesterday?
The vinyls?
Just talking about the vinyl. I'm like, and if anybody knows anything like we're doing here for Marvel that knows how to reprint that vinyl, it's $2,000. The last, and it only shows up from time to time.
Well, and let's be honest. Some of this stuff too, like some of this stuff's going to just get crazy pricey because it's like people are remembering it, scalpers. But yeah, it's. Yeah. I will say this: if you're on a budget, you haven't experienced like a lot of his manga and stuff. The Shonen Jump app, $3 a month, has like all of them. I recommend that highly.
Also, if you know, I will say, because you have them behind you, and I literally do too. The VizBig 3-in-1s, like as far as if you do want a physical copy, like those are. I think the best way to get them and the most affordable, and they're very available. Yeah, those are sick. Like I got them right behind me too.
And especially the fact that they actually have some of the color pages.
Yes. So, you know, I do have I can't remember if it's the Daizenshu or the Kanzenshu. I think it's the Daizenshu, which is the Japanese one with all the colored pages. So even though I can't read them, I did buy those because I wanted all the colored pages. Like, Dragon Ball's my favorite.
Is it the limited palette one? Like the
yes. Where it's just like red and orange, maybe. Yeah, 100%, dude.
Johnny, are you going to Heroes Con?
Yes, I am actually.
Well, I'm going to Heroes Con too. I'm going to need you to. I'm not going to steal that book, but I need to see this book, so I need you to bring that book.
I mean, it's the whole series. It's like 27 books, but I can bring a couple, and you can get the volume 1 pretty readily on even Amazon US, so you should look there. Not to plug Amazon, but it's a Japanese book. You can't get it at any stores here. You can get it.
I need NMC to ignore that for like 2 hours.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
what was in Shonen Jump before DB? There was a lot in Shonen Jump, but I believe Dragon Ball is what really
has to be.
Most people probably remember.
What's
that Smash Brothers game? The Shonen Jump Superstars, All Stars.
Yeah,
it's like a Smash Brothers type of game. Even that like rarely uses any characters before Dragon Ball, like Saint Seiya and things like that, because that didn't blow up here. But in Japan, like, yeah, I want to say Dragon Ball's the big one still. The VizBigs are censored. I will say that too.
Yeah.
But the Tankobon, I mean, and censored by like
the middle finger,
right, and things like that. Yes. Thank you so much. J All Stars and Jump Force. Now Josh can talk Omar into going to Heroes Con.
Yeah, you're going.
I can't. I gotta go to Japan and go.
You're going again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, I was tonight talking about going with is it a 12-hour plane ride?
17.
Depends. 17. It's not bad. It's really not bad.
Because I would have a panic attack.
You go up
you're only flying?
No, I don't. And that is
Rob said it earlier. I'm the same way.
Really?
I listen to music. I have a thing because I used to travel for work a lot. Then I definitely got to get going after this story. I used to travel for work a lot, where I was gone like 3 weeks out of the month, and I'm not a fan of flying. But it's not like flying itself; it's the takeoff and landing. So I always have to listen to music. And Rob listens to. It's funny because Rob and I bonded over this. He listens to Dragon Ball Z, the opening of season 1 and 2, as he takes off and lands. So we bonded over that. I listened to like Gurren Lagann and Robotech. The opening of Robotech. That's the way I fly, and I've always been like that.
I thought this was Toriyama. Yeah, you should recognize. You should know who this is, Omar.
What do you? I'm sorry. What did you say? You got this from Toriyama?
No, I thought this was a Toriyama book.
Nope.
And when I picked it up, like right when I came on camera, I'm like, oh, wrong one. But yeah.
Oh, what is that? I can't tell.
Oh, this is a Yo Shuri. Like it's one of his newer art books. It's a guy that's like you know him. He worked on Gurren Lagann, Evangelion. He's at Trigger now. Like he's one of their main character designers.
Gotcha. Okay. I gotta go because I gotta go and edit. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you guys for joining me to talk about him and talk about our favorite memories. I'm glad we got to share it, which is the best way to celebrate someone's life. We laughed. We had a lot of good memories of the stories and the video games and the music and the manga. Just woke up. The first thing I saw was going on YouTube was this live stream. Getting confused about the title, then it clicked. Fear the worst, only to check online, confirm the word. Yeah. Sorry.
But like I said, we got a mountain of work. Like his stuff is going to live on for ages, and we still got some new stuff in the can. So it's like the man's gone, the spirit's not. He's going to live on.
I mean, there's a lot of creators that have gone that I still look at their work and pass it on to the next generation as my job. But that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching.
I'm sorry, one real quick. Just of all the streams for you to ask me to be on this one, because I said Dragon Ball is my favorite. It means the most. It's like, thank you for asking me to be on this.
Man, of course.
And of all of them, this would be the one I'd want to be on. So thank you.
Yeah, man. I saw you and Josh hanging out. I was like, well, come in here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. You don't have to hit like. Just go and watch some Dragon Ball or read some Dragon Ball or play some Chrono Trigger. Or Cobalt or Sandland or whatever you want to do. Go have some fun and celebrate his life.